Hi, Leo. My name is Darlene Dotson, and this is your Destiny of Truth for February of 2021. Now, on the 1st, we have the Sun in the 7th house squaring Mars in Taurus in your 10th house. And you are your own worst enemy in partnerships. Um, you know, you, you want to keep your power. That's all there is to it. And it's all about you, and you're not gonna, you know, be in a partnership where you got to compromise. You are going to do everything your way. Now, on the 1st, we have Venus also entering Aquarius in your 7th house. And you are going to be more loving in partnerships. You've got to be more giving in partnerships. Not everything is all about you, Leo. It's about coming together in a partnership. Now, on the 5th or the 6th, depending on the coast you're on, we've got Venus conjunct Saturn in your 7th house. Now, Saturn is restricting you in partnerships in some way or another. Okay, you want to show partnerships how you love them, but Saturn's saying no. You are going to do things my way and not your way. So you're being restricted in a partnership issue in some matter. Now, on the 6th, we have Venus in Aquarius in your 7th house, squaring Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house. You want change, and that's a good thing, but you have to change your own power in order to move forward in a partnership in a loving way. Yes, you love to be independent and do things in your own way, but you've got to show partnerships that you can compromise and come together. Now, on the 8th, we have Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde in your 7th house. And when we have the Sun conjunct Mercury, we are showing our anger in a partnership issue. Maybe you're thinking about something that makes you angry in your partnerships. Maybe you're reevaluating it in your own mind about something that makes you angry in a partnership. But you're definitely looking at your partnership issues. Now, on the 10th, we have got Mercury retrograde again in the 7th house in Aquarius in your partnership sector. And, it is square Mars in Taurus in your 10th house. And you were definitely fixed on ideals of how things should be done. And, you have your own power and you're going to do things in your own way, which is causing communication issues within a partnership. And you've got to think about this. And and my suggestion is keep your mouth shut, think about it, because come a time when you can talk about it, but it's just not right now in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. You don't have the clarity to do that. Now, the next day on the 11th, we have Venus in Aquarius, conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius in your seventh house. And things are going to expand in a partnership in a good way or in a bad way, depending how things have been going in your partnerships. But if they're going in a good way, they're going to expand in a way that's going to take you to the next level in your finances. Or if they've been going in a not so good way, there's going to be an explosion that's going to happen because it is a fixed sign and people are definitely fixed in their attitudes. Now, on the 12th or the 13th, we have got Mercury retrograde conjunct Venus in our seventh house in Aquarius again. And here I'm going to tell you, okay, think about things that have to do with love that you want to change, because, and don't take action and don't voice it because you don't have that clarity, but you know you want to change things in your partnership house. Okay, you want things on a more solid ground, you want them on a level ground in your partnership. So think about this. Now, on the 13th, we have got Mars and Taurus in our 10th house, sextiling Neptune in Pisces in our 8th house. Now, with Mars in our 10th house in Taurus, which is a fixed sign, you know that you've got your own power. You know how to use that power. Okay, your actions have always been with that power. But we have a sextile, okay, to Neptune in Pisces in the 8th house that has to do with other people and where there has been no boundaries, okay? It can be over an addiction. And if you're, living from a higher plane, then it can be spiritually, okay? You connecting intuitively to these other people, but it has to do with an intimate relationship. And I mean, if it's an addiction, it's where you've had no boundaries with other people, and you're going to do things your way and keep your power. Well, you can overcome all of this if you take action on this day. It's a sextile. You can let this energy pass you by and do nothing with it and continue on the same path that you've been on, which is getting you nowhere, or you can use your power to overcome those addictions, or you can use your power to take you to the next level spiritually. Just depends where you want to go, because you can transform what's going on here, but you have to use your power in the right way. Now, on the 14th, we have Mercury conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius in our 7th house. Now, it is retrograde again. So you can be thinking about things or voicing things which are going to expand issues from the past in partnerships. And that can be a good way or a bad way, depending how things have been going in partnerships. Because, let's face it, Aquarius is a fixed sign, but then so are you, and are you going to compromise, or are you going to stay fixed in your attitudes? Then on the 17th, we have Saturn in your partnership squaring Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house. And you want to change things, okay? You see the error of how you've been using your power, and you do want to change it. But Saturn is restricting you from changing it within a partnership right now. And that's okay, okay? Because what Saturn has its reasons for restricting it. So just sit back and wait it out and continually to change things that you have the power to change. Now on the 18th, we have the sun moving into Pisces in the 8th house. And the sun is shining his light, okay? Where he touches. And for you, he's touching the 8th house, where could be an addiction issue because, like I said, there's no boundaries with it being in Pisces. And so it could be an addiction issue. Could also be a spiritual issue. Other people's money. Okay, it's shining a light here for you. And then on the 19th, it had Venus in Aquarius in the 7th house, as squaring Mars in Taurus in the 10th house. And with it in Aquarius in the 7th house, you are showing your partnerships how you love them, and it's squaring the actions that you have within your own power. And all I can say is, yes, you can keep your power and your partnerships can keep your power, but the two of you can come together for compromise, because there's nothing wrong with compromising. Let's face it, Leo, you like to do things your way. You're independent, but you want to be more stable, okay? You also want your finances to be more stable. And in order for this to happen, compromises have to happen with partnerships. It's not always my way or the highway. Now, on the 20th, we have Mercury going direct in your partnerships. And where you have been cloudy in your mind, and not really know what to say within your partnerships, you're going to get that clarity now. And then on the 24th, we have Mars and Taurus in your 10th house. And that has to do with using your own power, okay, for your finances to make you more stable. And it is trining Pluto in Capricorn in your 6th house of work, and your health. And you are using your power, okay, to get, to transform your health, to transform your work life. This is where you're putting your energy into. And then on the 25th, we have got Venus going into Pisces in your 8th house. And your 8th house is other people's, it could be finances, it could be real estate, it could be intuition, because it is the 8th house. And then on top of it, it's Pisces, which means it could also be your intuition. And, you're going to love what you're doing in this area of your life. You're ready to move forward. And of course, there's no boundaries here. So you do want to make sure that you're moving in a way that isn't loving and compassionate, okay? Because you don't want to do the passive aggressive thing either. So just make sure you're doing it in a way that's loving and compassionate. Then I am also using the Work Your Light Oracle cards for the month of February. And for the month of February, let's see what they've got to say. Boundaries. Okay. Again, okay, it's looking at how you're using your power and how other people are using their power. Are you using your power only for you and not keeping other people's boundaries? Or are you all about just no boundaries at all? Go hell on wheels and do what you want to do and forget about what anybody else wants. Okay? You need to look at boundaries this month. And with Pisces in your 8th house right now, there's definitely not a boundary there. Is it a drug addiction? Is it other people's money? Okay. You need to look at all of this and figure out what you want. Yes, if you're both willing to compromise to move forward, then that's a good thing, okay? But if you only want to do things your way, and with Mars being in Taurus in your 10th house, that tells me your actions are on your finances, on keeping your own power. And, you're definitely this month thinking, okay, about your relationships and how you deal with these relationships. Now, I am going to say, in the past, I was married to a Leo, and Leos are okay if they're not evolved. Okay, they're all about what they want. Okay, I gotta have the best this, I gotta do this the best, and I'm gonna do it my way no matter what the consequences. Well, that's not an evolved Leo, okay? But if you're using your energy in an evolved way, then the partnership, that square, can be overcome. Yes, I can have my power, but I can use that power in a constructive way in my relationship to give the other person what they need while keeping my own power. Okay? Compromise, there's nothing wrong with compromise. It's showing the other person that you love them. Okay? But if they only want everything their way too, then that's not a compromise. Like I can tell you, I also, my family was full of fixed, okay? Because I'm a Scorpio. I was married to a Leo, and my is an Aquarius, okay? And my son and I have had our challenges, but I'm always willing to compromise with my son because he's important to me. But I'm not going to give away my power to my son, okay? I will compromise to try to give him things that he wants, but I'm not going to give him my identity. I'm not going to let him take that away from me in order for him to get what he wants. There has to be a compromise between the both of us, in order to get where we want to go. So know that you can build boundaries, but still compromise with another person. Don't let them take your power, but if you're using your power in a way that's constructive for all, then yes, use that power. But also don't be passive aggressive, okay? You need to keep your power, but compromise in a healthy way. Have healthy boundaries within a relationship. So that's what I got to say for you, Leo, for February. It's all about using your power to better your relationships, to have healthy relationships, and not do everything your way. Because, Leo, we know that you're independent, but if you want a healthy relationship, you've also got to meet, okay, within this relationship and have compromises. So you're definitely learning about compromise in February. So I love you, Leo, and have a great February, and I will see you in March. Have a blessed month. Bye bye.